No, no. All right, I'm hopping on it. I'm hopping on the train, the de-influencing train. Even though I sometimes feel like that's this entire channel. This entire channel is just dedicated to me buying everything and testing it all out so that you're not wasting your money on garbage. But since I am a dinosaur here on YouTube, in that I have been making videos here, testing out makeup products since before you could make money on YouTube. That's a long time. There have been a ton of products that I have purchased that have been really hyped up, that have exploded online, and I have purchased them and I just kind of been let down. They're products that I don't feel like they're worth the money, and some of them are very expensive. I'm looking at them all right now. Wow, you are pricey. So I'm here today specifically to de-influence you. Do not buy any of these products. In my personal opinion, they do not work. But if I do think of someone that I think that these products would work for, I will mention that, because I think there's a product for everyone and not everyone fits with every product, but these ones I don't think are worth the money. And I will mention where I can of products that I do think are. So here we go, people. Get your popcorn ready. We are de-influencing. And you know what? We're gonna start with mascaras, because I feel like most of the mascaras, doing a double check here. Yeah, most of the mascaras that I do really enjoy are drugstore. I find that a lot of drugstore mascaras are absolutely fantastic and in many ways reign supreme for me. And to that point, there are a bunch of one, like the Macstack Mascara. It didn't stack. Charlotte Tilbury's PillowTalk push-up lashes. No, there was no push-up, and it really wasn't that voluminous or anything anyway. Like all the Hypnose mascaras, the Lancome ones, like none of them really jump out to me as something worth the splurge. There's one mascara that just loving memory of, I don't think exists anymore. It's the Shock Mascara. I think it was YSL, but I could be wrong. YSL? I don't even remember, honestly, but it was very expensive. It was a very expensive mascara, but wow. That was like the one mascara that really changed the game for me. And there are a couple that I really like. The Tower 28, fantastic. But I really like a lot of the drugstore, like the Maybellines and L'Oreals of the world. I think they make great ones. No. Next up is a primer. And this primer, I was influenced. This was back in the day when everyone was doing a ton of makeup videos. And this primer, I don't even know where it started. It might have been Nikki Tutorials, or it could have been Tarte. I don't remember. But anyway, this one worked really, really well for them. And they fell in love, instant results, and boom, I bought it. And it is, I think, the most expensive makeup product I have ever purchased. I'm trying to think back. Maybe. There could be other ones. This is the Sisley Double Tenseur. I butchering the French language. Instant and long-term. Instant and long-term. That's what it is. It's a primer. And this guy was so pricey. And I just didn't see anything I wanted to so badly that I think, like, I was like, yeah, no, this is great. This is doing exactly what I wanted it to. I mean, it's fine. It's a fine primer, but I just never saw the results that I wanted to for it. And that makes me really sad, because it was, can't say it. Cannot stress this enough how expensive that was. No. And speaking of primers, this primer like exploded a couple of years ago, and everyone and their mom was talking about it. They did a big brand trip around it, and it was the Milk Makeup Hydrogrip primer. This guy right here, it's been duped 1,000 ways to Sunday. I feel like everyone has been talking about this and how much they love it. I cannot get on board. Can't do it. It is so sticky and tacky. Nothing sits on top of it well. It feels like slime on my skin. Like, I don't like it. I keep going back to see if I like it. You know, when there's like certain like foods and things that you're just like, oh, I don't like it, but I really want to like it because everyone likes it. Yeah, that's me with this primer. And every time I'm like, why did I do this to myself? It just doesn't work for my skin. I think it would be really good if you have very dry skin. I think that's where people really get a lot of benefit out of this, because it is so hydrating. But to me, there are other better hydrating primers out there, and I just, no. Now let's talk about the one powder. There's a couple. This one powder had a chokehold on the beauty community for so many years. This was like the one powder that everyone used, and it's the Laura Mercier translucent powder. I looked like a shriveling raisin with this on, and there have been so few powders that have really like come up and been really viral and crazy and amazing that I have really enjoyed. I really liked the Elizabeth Arden powder for a really long time. No one ever talked about how great that was. It was awesome. Such a good one. If you want to look like a shriveled raisin though, this is your guy. This is your go-to. And I know a lot of people really like this. And if you love this, I am so happy for you that you have found the powder for you. This one, not for me. My skin was like, no. I have to really like a powder to actually like use it over and over again. There have been so many. The Hourglass one, that's another one. It had such a heavy feel to it, and it was very yellow in an undertone. So it was just very prominent under my skin with my skin tone. What's another one? There have been a bunch of them. Oh, all of Givenchy ones, the Too Faced one, like none of them worked for me. Just hit myself in the face. I'm very picky when it comes to powders, and that just didn't hit the mark. Now let's switch gears to some concealers, because there are, again, a lot of concealers that people just really love and I want to love. And I don't want, again, the shriveled raisin look, it's not great. And my under eyes take very few concealers. So the one I feel like it's just doesn't work for me. Maybe it's just me. It's the NARS Radiant Concealer. This thing, so many people love it. So many people swear by this concealer. And this was just very meh. Didn't layer really well for me. Not a lot of great coverage. It was just so vanilla. And then the other one is, again, speaking of chokehold, the one concealer that everyone in 2016 was using, the Tarte Shape Tape. Do you remember that era? Wow. And for a while there, I did like it in that it would cover a lot of like the acne spots that I had on my skin for a while there, and because it's so heavy. But as I have gotten older, and now that I'm in my 30s, that's just not gonna cut it for me anymore. I can't do it. Especially for under the eyes, like, wow. It was so heavy and crusty, and powders didn't really like hold it on there. It was just kind of like melting off of my face. Like, no. Again, really wanted to love it. I was right there, but just no. I think there are a lot of like really good drugstore concealers. Also some really good high-end concealers. Like I do use the Armani Concealer. This one's fantastic because it brightens and it has good coverage and it just melts into the skin beautifully. So I will swear by that. This is one of those pricey things that like I will pay money for. But then again, I also love the Maybelline Dark Circle Eraser. So good. If you have not tried this and you can find your shade, because I know they don't have a huge selection from what I remember, it is magic under the eyes. It is so lightweight and yet so full coverage. I don't know what's in this, but so good. The next products I want to talk about, I need to preface because I know they're very popular right now. Very popular. And I think there are a lot of products from this brand that are very good. And I think a lot of people like them and they look really good on them. It doesn't work for me. And I think that there are better products for the money. And those are the Rare Beauty blushes. Love the new highlight though. I actually used the pinky one the other day. Oh, so pretty. But these little blushes in particular, these guys, the little potted ones, just didn't do anything for me. They would disappear very quickly. They did not blend well for me. I kept trying to make them work and I couldn't do it. And then the other one are these ones that like everyone is talking about these right now. I used them on my skin today because I was like, I must be missing something. So I've tried them a bunch of different ways, dotting it on the skin, blending it out, putting it on my hand, and then using a brush, using a sponge, everything. I really wanted to make this work because you get so much product. So I think there is value there if this works for you. But to me, it kind of sits kind of streaky on my skin, and it's so pigmented that just the tiniest amount goes a long way. And I think that works really well for a lot of people. I couldn't make it work. I don't think these are worth the hype. I just don't. Now I want to talk about a whole category of products that I genuinely think, unless you find a shade that just works and speaks to your soul, I think that drugstore ones are just as good. And that is lip liners. Just in general, lip liners. I have so many good ones from Kokie Cosmetics, NYX Cosmetics. Like, I just can't justify paying the price and the premium on a lot of these ones out of Sephora. Sometimes when you find a shade and you're just like, this is it, this is the one, you can't stray from that. And I get it, I understand. But for the most part, to me, I think that the formulas are very similar, and oftentimes you can find a shade that you really vibe with. Oh man, we were on a roll here. We got so many good ones here. Like I feel really good about this, because now I want to talk about eyeshadows. And this has been such an interesting one for me because I do have one brand of palettes that I think are actually fantastic and insanely expensive, but the product is so good. But then I want to talk about the ones that went viral 1,000 times over. Well, there's a couple of them that I don't know. ColourPop is just, they're so good. Those are like a good, cheap and cheerful, affordable, great quality eyeshadows that I use very consistently. But oh, I feel like I'm going down memory lane with these. The ABH palettes, 200 ABH palettes. They are just very heavy. I found them personally for me more difficult to blend out. I do have like an extra like flap of skin here that kind of covers, and I have to like open up and like put product in because otherwise it like folds over. So like maybe that plays a part in it too. I don't know. There was one palette, I think it was actually the palette, it was the teal one that nobody else liked. Everyone hated it. It had a whole drama moment online, but I really liked that one. But otherwise I don't know. They're fine. They're fine. And then the other ones are all the naked palettes. That was the it palette. Oh my goodness. They've come out with 47 cents. So if you want a palette, I mean, they're there, but no more. There are so many good palettes out there that are affordable and fantastic quality. I do have to say though, I really love the Natasha Denona palettes. I don't want to. I just want to say that out loud. I don't want to love them because they are very expensive. I don't know. I find them to be really good and they blend very easily for me. And I don't know. I really like them. Okay, the next one is an interesting one because I think that it works again well for a lot of people, but I wanted to mention this one because it doesn't work for me for a very specific reason. So this is more like a heads up de-influencing because I don't want you to go and buy them and then try them if you are also the same as me. And that is the Glamnetic Nails. And I do have a note, Glamnetic, if you're watching this, I have a very specific note and request. Please just stay with me. These nails are very curved. They have a very strong curvature to them that just doesn't work really well for my nails. I didn't realize this until I started trying out a bunch of these different brands. I'm like, why do they hurt my nails so much? It's because my nails, some of them, not all of them, some of them are very flat. So like these fingers, super flat. This one, more curved. So it sits nicely on this one. And then I'm like, oh, I see why so many people like it. It's so pretty and it like fits really nicely. The rest of them, I cannot, they're so thick and sturdy, which is like a good thing for a nail. But because of that, it doesn't form to my other nails well at all. So Glamnetic, if you're watching this, could perhaps in the future either come up with one that's a little bit more flat or maybe something that has a little bit of flex to it in some way. Maybe you cure it to set it once it like forms to your nail. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there because I want to love these nails. I want to really badly, but they do not work for my nail type. So I needed to let you know in case you were interested in buying them. If you have flat nails, you're not gonna like these. Oh my gosh, my lighting is all over the place today. Now I want to take a quick pivot to like hair care stuff. Number one, we're just gonna rip the band-aid off. K18, my hair hated this so much. I talked about this late last year as well, in case you missed that video. My hair did not mesh with that formula really well. I tried it in a variety of different ways, not just the way that was said on the actual packaging, which I did try, but every single time my hair would just break off. It does not respond well to K18 as well as to a lot of the Olaplex products. There's just a lot of heavy protein rich formulas out there that my hair just does not like. And so I avoid them. I avoid them at all costs. And so I want to tell you, in case your hair is also sensitive to these things, it might not work for you. Speaking of protein related treatments, the Briogeo Don't Despair Repair Hair Mask. This one, I wanted to love it. And everyone just kept seeing just these incredible results from them, but it was too heavy. It was, again, the protein in my hair. It just made it really dry, really brittle. I do like their like avocado mask though for the hair because that's very hydrating and my hair just like loves that. It just soaks it up. But the Don't Despair Repair one Did not work for my hair type, though I think that if you have a thicker hair or hair that loves a good protein treatment, it would probably work really well for you. Now, the only real perfume that I want to talk about is, it's one that I tried because, again, a lot of people really love this and a lot of people love products from this line. I didn't get the hype. I just didn't get it. It's the Sol de Janeiro Brazilian Crush Spray. It's taking the fragrance from their really, really popular cream that they have that, again, is constantly sold out and everyone really loves. So I was really excited about having this scent because that's one of the allures of this product. And I sprayed it on and it just smelled really like cheap. It was just very like cheap, coconutty, very one note kind of flat scent, and I was expecting something just a little bit more, especially for the price. For like standard sizes, it's like $50. Like that's a lot. So it just wasn't it for me. I was expecting a lot, and I love a good like coconutty, beachy, like yes, but no, not that version. All right, here we go. Here's the next one. This one I don't think I've talked about in a video, and I used it on my skin and I came downstairs and Chris was like, what is on your skin? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, go look in a mirror. And I looked in the mirror, glitter, just straight up glitter face. And that is from, this is actually kind of a recent brand in the last like year or two, I want to say. It's Jones Road. This is their Miracle Balm, and it is their Magic Hour one. So it's supposed to be all like glowy and dewy, and I was like, perfect, we'll put that on like high points, like all over, la 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 la. And it truly was like a full not Tin Man, but R2-D2. Who's the gold guy? Yeah, it's R2-D2. And it was a lot. And I think that they really promoted it as sort of this like glowy, dewy look. And it wasn't at all. It was just straight glitter. But yeah, that was not for me, not my thing. Cause like you can like look at it on camera. Isn't that gorgeous? Ooh, skin, no, not for your skin, not for your skin. Maybe on your arms. I'm just thinking this through now of how I'm gonna use this product. I'm trying to think. I was gonna put it on after my sunscreen, maybe out in the sun, a little photo shoot, you know, like have the little like gold show, like the little like pop, you know, but like I don't know. I just don't put it on your face. And speaking of highlighters, and I swear I am not coming after this brand today. There are two products that I just don't like from this brand, but I do overall really like this brand. It's the Rare Beauty. It's the highlight. I know I said I like the highlight. I'm sorry. I mean the liquid highlight. I love the powder highlight. I think that was really pretty and it looked really good on the skin. I talked about it last week, but the liquid highlight I found to be, it dried down very glittery for me. I couldn't get it to like look effortless, and I don't know, like I like the Charlotte Tilbury one, the spotlight highlight. To me that just works well and doesn't give that same sort of like glittery effect. But this one, if you have any recommendation, again, I have it. If you have any recommendations and you love it, please let a girl know. I need to know how to wear this, because that just like, it wasn't it for me. I wanted to like it. A lot of these products I wanted to like, but I think it's important. We got to do a mix, right? We got to talk about the products we love and share that with people, because, you know, they're products that work really well, and you want to share that information with the people that you love. But equally as important, these are products I personally would not wish you to waste your money on because they didn't work well for me. If they work well for you, or if you have any recommendations on how to use these products, leave them in the comments down below. I would love to know more information. I love learning in general. I'll do a little list below of the products that I talked about that I do really love. Also leave me a comment down below and let me know any products that like you would like to de-influence people from purchasing. Things that like were really hyped up, you tried it out and you're like, no, that's not gonna be it for me. This felt like a really fun classic YouTube video, so if you like it, give it a thumbs up so I know we'll continue to make more of these. But I hope you guys are having a fantastic, fantastic day, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Mwah.